Okay, I guess I should start right about now, shouldn't I? Okay, hello everyone and welcome to Timber Time. I'm your host Timberwolf, and tonight's show we're going to basically be talking about, well, about money, because everybody talks about money on occasions. And so, anyway, that's what I wanted to do with this show, just to talk about it here. There we go. Ah, there. Whew. Now, there's a lot of different ways people get money. One, like some people are born into money. Your parents might be uh, rich and it might be handed down to you. Uh, Other people or other people's parents will save the money for you in the form of a college fund, and you'll sit there and say, well, I don't need college. I'm just going to keep the money. You might have a couple $1,000s in there to help you begin surviving your everyday life until you get a job. Getting a job is another way of making money. Myself, I have two jobs. One is at a pet factory or pet nutrition's factory. We make dog and cat food. That's my primary one. My other one is I deliver papers in the mornings, and I don't really get that much money out of that. I get about an extra $300 a month. But other ways people get cash, they inherit it. Say like a relative dies and whatever money they have, either in a banking account or in an insurance account, or even liquidating everything that's in their home after their death, it goes to, their children. That's how some people make money. Other people play the lottery and hit the lottery and win. Some people or even worked all their life and are retired and are making retirement. And there are some people who can't work for a living and they collect Social Security or Social Security, benefits for disabled people. And others tend to steal, which is one of the worst ways of doing it. Also, I have a third job coming up for those of you who do not know. I'm going to be doing voiceover acting for a friend of mine for his animation. That's not going to bring in a lot, but hey, I get my foot in the door because I'd like to get rid of my job at the pet nutrition factory right now, because due to the fact that that place I'm working for has driven me pretty much nuts. It's got me seeing a psychiatrist right now, and whew. And he's turned around telling me, like, I've been there, I work as a temp, which means I'm only a temporary person there. I get paid the lowest amount of money. I've been a temp there for 6 years. I'm not a regular hiree, so I only make like about $9 an hour. And I've been working there 6 years, and there's people below me who, see, I do just about everything there. I've stacked dog food on pallets, I've driven a forklift, you name it, I've just about done it. Well, another guy, all he does, I think he's like, I've been there 6 months longer than he has, and he's making like $10 an hour, and all he's driving is a forklift. And they won't hire me on full time because they think I'm blind. But yet, if I'm so blind, why are you keeping me there in the first place? That's the most important thing. And ever since then, they've been putting more and more stress on me, and this is why I'm going more into voiceover acting. And I hope everybody can hear me. Let me check the speaker. I think I'll turn up the speaker a little bit more. Hopefully everybody can hear me now. I turned down the volume on the speakers themselves, but for the microphones I didn't turn them up, so that's something I didn't do. But anyway, people like money, they need money. Everybody needs money. They need it to pay for their housing, their clothing, their food, other special needs. Like myself, I pay $400 a month rent. As you can see, you know, I have one small room and a cellar. Well, it's not really a small room. Behind me here, there's like a little storage area back here where I store all my stuff. You can see my bed right here. Of course, got the computer right here. I got a television set over here. My kitchen's just beyond that way with the washer and dryer. The bathroom is back that way. I got all this, $400 a month rent, and of course all I pay is for my telephone bill, which includes my internet. And of course I got other needs too. I smoke cigarettes, which if anybody out there even thinks about, you know, starting up smoking, please don't. It's a hard habit to break. And around here in Pennsylvania, they just raised up the cigarette prices an extra $1. So as you can see, we do need, everybody needs money to do something. Where I get a pack of rollies and roll my own cigarettes. A little bit cheaper. But still. Another way people make money. I do this on occasions myself. For anybody who lives in states where they can take aluminum cans to be recycled, I do that. On my paper route, I will find cans, what have you. I'll pick them up. It helps clean the environment, plus it also gives me a little bit of cash when I turn everything in. I don't get much per pound. On average, I get about 9 pounds. I get like about $4 out of it, $4 or $5. So, you know, it's not, that doesn't make a lot of money either. Going sure thing's lit. I hate lighting up a cigarette because, like I say, as you can see, I twirl the end there a little bit, and sometimes I like that, and it just lights up and doesn't smoke all the way down, so sorry about that. But and another thing that I do this on occasion as well. I need to get batteries for my metal detector, because people lose change in the grass and what have you. Now, that's another thing. Some people will save money. They save different types of money. They save a little bit in the bank out of every bit of their paycheck. I do the same thing. When I get a weekly paycheck, or like I estimate about $280 a week. About 283, 284 something. I take the 284. I go pay my bills. I buy my food. But the $4 and some odd cents I always leave in the bank, and then I turn around and keep leaving it there and let it build up until I actually have to go need it again, which has been quite often. Another way people like to make money. Now, like I said, there's people who save different types of money. Everybody saves, fives, tens, 50, $50 bills, $1 bills. Only the $1 bills they kind of like to, they'll sit there and say, well, I'll just carry around in my purse or my pocket, or I'll just, set it somewhere off to the side. Quarters, they put, they need that to do their laundry. If they don't have a laundry machine at home, they take it to the laundromat and they need the quarters, so they save the quarters. The nickels and dimes, people turn around and they pretty much keep for themselves. They just throw it in a change jar. Pennies is something that I've noticed a lot of people, they don't, for some odd reason, they don't like pennies. They don't care how they discard them, because it's only a penny. Sometimes they put it in a jar at home and turn around and, well, most of the older people do that. They'll put all their pennies in a jar, and the hard part is just wrapping them. I think that starts to begin a nuisance. And some people even take, when they go to buy something at a store, they'll take honestly, I've seen it done. They will bring in a bag full of pennies, and they will start paying, whatever they bought for it. It might be a $4 or $5 item, and they'll be sitting there just counting out, 1, 2, 3, 4, without even bother wrapping them, because some of the stores do let you do that, even though it's not very common. And it's also a nuisance to people behind you in the grocery store, because I've sat behind people. Trust me, like I said, I've seen it done. It's been done. But most of the time, if you ever walked into a store or something, maybe a small convenience store or a Rite Aid or someplace like that there, that have that little thing that says, take a penny, leave a penny. I've noticed that when the grocery clerk or whoever, gives you back change, if you've got 1 cent coming back, they'll sit there and say, no, you go ahead and you keep it. I don't want that dang thing. They'll either put it in the take and leave a penny, or they'll, the store clerk will either pocket it themselves or just put it off to the side and wait for the next person who might be a little bit short, and then they'll put it in the till. But what I see a lot of, especially when, I go to work or something like that there, I'll be walking along and I'll be, I'll look down on the ground, there might be 2 or 3 pennies laying on the ground. I pick them up. I don't, hey, savings is savings to me. Or as I always say, money's money. Because there's sometimes I have days off, like today. I could spend an hour or two rolling pennies. I gotta have my tea. I should have coffee, but the Dollar General store, where I buy most of my stuff, because I don't get paid a lot, and it's a high price of food. We'll get to that in a minute here. They didn't have my jar coffee, so on top of that, it's kind of warm down here. I'll take some tea, I'll put some hot water in there, put a tea bag in, heat it up, bring the bag out, dunk it a couple times, squeeze it out, put some sugar in there, and I'll let it set until it cools for a little bit. It's my way of getting my caffeine, although tea does have some caffeine, not as much as coffee. But anyway, we're going off subject now. I'm good at that. I think of something and it's like, I'm off subject, I'm sorry. Oh man, I'm telling you. But anyway, I'm not sure. I'm trying to look at something here real quick, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get to. I should have a. Well, I should have anyway. Here I am. I'm 15 minutes into the show, and so there's something definitely wrong here. Yeah, there's something definitely wrong here. I may have to redo this episode. I'm not sure. I gotta look at something here real quick, because something says I'm live now and should be 8/17/16. They got me on 8. Yep. Son of a bitch. That's okay. Well, it still says 8/17. I could probably, yeah, I could still download this. I just taped over another program. I'm sorry. All in a hurry getting there. But anyway, like I said, one of the things is people tend to throw money away too, and I've noticed that they like to just throw their pennies away, and money's money, which started to make me think, how much in the way of pennies do people throw away? Well, I just happened to think to myself, now I'm not sure this is going to happen, swear to God. I would be highly surprised if it did. For people, I'm gonna see if this is gonna work. For those of you out there who don't like pennies, who just basically throw pennies away, I'd like to have you do something, because I want to figure out how much pennies are lost. I think I might do this for the rest of the month or the rest of the year. What I'd like to have you do is get yourself an envelope sort of like this. Only use the smaller ones that have the bubble wrap on the inside, and send it to me. This way I know from your area, your location, or better yet, if you're the type of person that saves pennies, but you find pennies on the ground, you find a couple pennies on the ground, stick them in a small manila envelope like this, or a smaller one, maybe about half that size, probably about something like that size there. If I can get it in focus. I can get it in focus. There we go. Maybe a small one like that. The small ones with the bubble wrap on the inside. Just take your pennies that you find on the street and just toss them in there and say, write a little note and say, hey, Timber, I found these on my, out on my street. I'd like to find out how much pennies are lost. or even just thrown away or not used, maybe for the rest of this year. I mean, I know I'm not going to be getting a lot of this because a lot of people aren't going to do it, but you know, I, I'm making this the great penny chase. I'd like to find out, and you know, by your name. Well, you don't have to put your name on the envelope. You can put your address or what have you. This way I know what city you're in, what state you're in, and I can sit there and I can write it down and say, okay, this guy from Flatwater, Florida, we'll say. Just a fictitious name. If there's a Flatwater, Florida, let me know. It's just something that came right straight out of my head. Oh, he sent me 10 pennies. I'll write that down. Now, the pennies you send me will go to good use. As you can see, I don't have my microphone yet. Nobody's been giving me, you know, donating on my Patreon, so nobody's been doing that. Even though I have been putting out the word that I do have a Patreon and for people to donate, I have been doing that. A friend of mine from my Go Animate days, he's still on Go Animate, but he's doing a business type of Go Animate. He's offered me a job to voice over one of his animations for $5 for every 100 words. So I got a 2-minute deal with him. That's going to net me about $16 there. That's going to go into a fund that goes in for a new microphone. I'm trying to get a Blue Yeti. I'll also build up a small area over here where I got to make my own homemade soundproofing, because due to the fact that my landlord, you probably hear noises upstairs filtering down into here. But that's why I put this on at this time of night. Now I did have on top of that, as you can see, I got broken lens or a broken frame here. I've had that for a while now, so it could be used to get my, you know, microphone, maybe get my glasses fixed. I'll go to Pearl Vision Center up at the mall on one of my days off and get a different set of frames. You know, but I would just like to know, you know, and I don't know, y'all might end up sending me about $20 and change in pennies, who knows. But this will stay running. This challenge will stay until I say it's going to stop. And I'll probably make it last the rest of this year, because considering the fact that my friend only has about 2 episodes of this to do, and then he's going to stop, that's about $15 an episode, so there's $30 from him. And the Blue Yeti costs anywhere between $150 to over $1,000, depending upon what you get. What I'm saved so far, I'm saved up $20 to my account, or it's in my credit card, web card. And of course, like I said before, my Patreon isn't making me anything right this minute. It's been up there over a month. But what I want you to do is, you know, if you find pennies and you don't like pennies, you know, just like I said, toss them into an envelope like this. You know, make sure it's one of those smaller versions with the bubble wrap inside. And for those of you who are joining me live now, I'll even give you my address and my name here. Plain C. There we go. There's my name and my address. And for those of you who are on YouTube, I'll be placing this up on YouTube, and I will give the address at the end of my YouTube when I upload this to YouTube. So let me look here. Well, since there's nobody on here, and I didn't really want to do that. Okay, I just had to check, since we only got about less than 5 minutes left, I had to check my other status. But anyway, hopefully that'll go on through. But like I said, and I'll keep you guys updated too on if anybody sends me any pennies as well. Like I said, you can't really put them in a small envelope and put them through. I don't think the post office would like that too well. That's why I said, if you've ever seen one of those small vanilla envelopes with the bubble wrap on the inside, that would be about best. And make sure you write me a note saying, Timberwolf, here's some pennies I found on the ground. Mark this to you know, I found these bumfuck Egypt or someplace like that there, and this is only open to those people in the United States. I can't really do anything with any pennies that come from overseas. Or I might just collect those. They won't be worth nothing to me, but you know. But like I said, I've found quite a few pennies. I got about $1 in pennies in my jar over here, and that's just by walking around, going from walking around when I do my paper route and walking to work and back. I just look down on the ground, I'll find a penny, bring it home. Next day I might not find anything. Might not find anything for about 3 weeks, maybe actually about 5 or 6 days, and then I'll find maybe 1 or 2 more pennies somewhere else. I said nobody likes pennies, but I just want to know how many pennies are actually, people just toss on the ground. And like I said, I'll keep everybody updated on that. So, this way I'll give you guys an accurate, I'll try to give you guys an accurate monthly update on that, and you can find that update on my Lucky Pup Wolfpack Productions webpage. For those of you who will be watching this on YouTube, I'll give that at the end of the show as well. At the end of the credits. And since this is live, we ain't got no credits. It's just, we go with it. And I should be posting this up on YouTube in a day or two, because I already just posted up my other one. So, anyway, I got 1 minute left. Oh, I also have some water ready too. I didn't think my tea would last long enough for me to. There it goes. And I see we got about half a minute left. So my next broadcast for Timber Time will probably be about Saturday maybe. So until then, this is Timberwolf saying, I hope you guys have a great week. And I look forward to hearing from you. And I'll let you know what's going on. Y'all have a good night. Bye now.